And welcome to another episode of the Heart to Heart series. Today, in this episode, we're going to talk about how self care is good for your heart. Yes, how is self care good for your heart? So, welcome if this is your first time here with me on this channel. Welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. And I appreciate you for considering tuning in with us and viewing this episode on today. So, before we get started, my name is Deetra Dennis, and I am the founder of Full Circle Health Coaching LLC. I am also the heart health coach, and I have the opportunity to work with women who value, own, and invest in their health. I empower them with evidence based and culturally relevant lifestyle interventions that supports them on their journey to optimal heart health. And here at the Heart to Heart series, which is a girl talk, it's an opportunity for us to have talk about the heart from the heart. And we do that over a glass of hibiscus tea, which I call our red wine, because it's great to have the talk from the heart about the heart, but also having something that's good for the heart to drink, and that is hibiscus tea. And hibiscus tea is really good in that it relaxes the blood vessels and it lowers the blood pressure. So that is why we chose hibiscus as our drink of choice for this girl talk. So before we get into how is self-care good for your heart, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, click on the notification bell so you're notified when a new episode or a new video is uploaded, and share this with someone that you feel could benefit from what we discuss. And lastly, again, is Girl Talk, so go ahead and add your comments below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pour up your hibiscus tea or your red wine, and cheers to you. And let's talk about how is self-care good for your heart. And if you see me looking down, I am looking at my notes because I do like to stay on task, because I am a little chatty Cathy and I do want to stay on task and keep the video as short as possible. I won't say short, but powerful, yet timely. How about that? So, as you know, again, on this channel, we really talk about heart health. And so let's level set. Let's go back, because this channel started in December of 2021. And again, sharing that this is about heart health and knowing that heart disease is the leading cause of death. And of that, 50,000 Black women pass away annually as a result of heart disease. Now, the good news is that 80% of heart disease is preventable. And it starts with us showing a little love to our heart with small acts of self-care on a daily basis. Yes, we can do this. Let's change the narrative so that 50,000, that is way too many of our women passing away when it's something that's preventable. You agree with me? Nod your head, yes, yes. And as well, put it in the chat below. What are your thoughts about how we can change this narrative of heart disease for Black women? So again, I want to, before we get further into talking about how self-care is good for your heart, let's define self-care. And so, again, I'm looking down at my notes. And so the World Health Organization defines self-care as the ability of individuals, families, and communities to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health, and to cope with illness or different abilities with or without the support of a healthcare provider. And I can't remember which video now, but I talked about, if you are the CEO of your health, it is important to have a team, and your healthcare provider is a part of that team. So to help you achieve your health goals, and this channel is about your heart health goals, which is your overall health as well. Okay. And so that is defining self-care. Now, in that definition, to me, And tell me if you agree that self-care is more than the day at the spa. Not that the day at the spa is not a great thing to do, but let's take it up a level. It's more than that. It's really self-care, and heart care is really whole body or your whole self care, right? So let's talk about now 4 acts of self-care to help your heart. So the first one I would like to talk about, we've talked about this the past few videos, about getting your daily dose of 30 minutes of physical activity. And we've talked about, if you're not able to do it at one time, how you can, throughout the day, incorporate be it 10-minute, 3 10-minute sessions or 2 15-minute sessions. And if you want to do more than 30 minutes, be my guest, go ahead and add more. But just as a minimum, 30 minutes a day. And that can be something that you enjoy, because if it's something you enjoy, you will stick with it. So I love walking and I love dancing. But if you're a person who loves to go to the gym and be a part of an exercise group or using the weights there, whatever it is that you enjoy, do that on a daily basis. Okay. So number 2 is nourish your body by cooking healthy meals, because when you do that, you are able to control what's in your food. The sodium, as we know, the increased sodium in the food increases your blood pressure and put you at risk of high blood pressure, right? And then you can control the fat, because we know the fat, the unhealthy fat, the saturated fats in food clog your arteries, which, raise your cholesterol, as well as put you at risk for heart disease or even stroke, right? Because it's clogging the arteries or clogging your vessels. So nourishing your body with by cooking your meals. Now, if you're a person like, girl, I'm cooking is not my thing, it's okay. If you are going to eat out or have a chef or whatever, be sure that whatever you purchase or whatever they prepare meets the guidelines for heart health with the low sodium and low fat. Okay. All right. So the next one is sleeping 7 to 8 hours per night. It is important for you to get that sleep, because that's the opportunity for your body to refresh, repair things that have gone on through the day, so that you wake up refreshed and renewed, right? So 7 may be your magic number. 7.5 may be your magic number, or 8 may be your magic number. I know for me, 7.5, I'm good. My eyes automatically open up after I've had 7.5 hours of sleep, and I wake up refreshed and ready to, take on all of the duties and roles and activities of the day, because I have refreshed and had that 7.5 hours of sleep. So again, whatever that number is for you. And I know some of you are saying, girl, I can manage all 4 hours. You may be able to do that for some time, but for a short period, but over time, that is taxing on your body. Okay. So if you're at 4 hours now, just, make a plan incrementally to get to, that between that 7 to 8 hour range. Okay. Now, lastly, managing your stress. And I know over the past 2 years, it has really been stressful for everyone. So some ways to manage the stress or reduce the stress is, one, to identify your triggers. What are some things that causes you to be more anxious? Identify what that is, and maybe incorporating some meditation, gratitude journal, or focusing on things that you can control, and focusing on things that are going well in a situation. So I just recently, we had a family emergency just a few weeks ago, a week and a half ago. And yes, it was very devastating, but in it, I did, as well as my family, we had to say, okay, yes, this was traumatic for our family, but we're grateful for this outcome over here. Yes, that happened, but we're grateful that everyone is well after this traumatic experience. So yes, it was a stressful situation, but again, looking at the positive in it, because what you look at, I forgot the quote now, but anyway, what the gist of what I'm saying here is, when there are stressful situations, because life happens, you want to be able to respond rather than react. So when things happen, you may want to pause, pump the brakes, take a deep breath so that you can respond appropriately to whatever that stressor is in your life. Okay. So those were the four acts of self-care that came to mind. There are many others, and I would love for you to comment below. What are some acts of self-care that you plan to implement, or that you have already implemented to help your heart care? So self-care is heart care, basically, is what we're talking about here. And that's all I have for you today. And I hope that this has been valuable for you and something that you can apply to your everyday life by adding those small acts of self-care to help your heart. All right. So if you would like to connect with me further, go ahead and go to Facebook at Full Circle Health Coaching LLC. If you would like to receive my weekly newsletter, you can go over to our website at fullcirclehealthcoachingllc.com. And I wanted to share with you, we do have some updates coming to the channel. So stay tuned. I'll be sharing that very, very soon with you about the updates to the channel. So, I like to end with my quote. So remember that within you, you are the full circle, and within you is the power to create, nurture, and transform. And so until next week, tap into your power.